Okay, so today we're going to learn about slope. We're going to do an introduction to slope, and that's going to lead us to all other, lots of other great concepts we're going to learn in algebra. So to start out with, we're going to find the slope of a line. And to do that, we need to come up with two ordered pairs that have easy coordinates. Next, we're going to draw a right triangle with a rise and a run. The green is the rise, the blue is the run, meaning the green is our vertical component and the blue is our horizontal component. Then we're going to count the rise and the run. So our rise is 2 and our run is 3. And then the next part is the slope positive or negative? This is a negative slope. So we're going to put this all together, and our variable for slope is m. So m is equal to a negative 2 over 3. So now I want you to try this. Follow the directions in your notes to find the slope of the line. Okay, so hopefully you picked two easy coordinates, and if yours are different, it's not a big deal. And you've got your rise over your run. So the next thing we're going to do is remember the slope. It's rise over run, which is equal to, this is 2 and this is 1. So we have 2 over 1, which is 2. And this is a positive slope. Positive slope. So m is equal to 2. All right, the next thing we're going to look at is we're going to try and find the slope of a right triangle. So we have the same idea going on. We've got a rise of 18 and a run of 6. So remembering our slope formula, m is equal to the rise over the run. So we're going to make a fraction with our 18 over our 6. We're going to simplify that fraction. So when we simplify the fraction, we get a slope of 3. And then we're asking ourselves, is this a positive or a negative slope? So is the hypotenuse of this triangle, does it have a positive or a negative slope? And this is a negative. So we're going to put it all together. So m is equal to negative 3. Okay, now I want you to try it. Follow the directions in your notes to find the slope of the hypotenuse. So hopefully you use your notes to determine your rise over your run. And in this case, it's 11 over 2. And if we simplify, so our slope then is 11 over 2. And then it is a positive slope. And it's okay to leave our slope. In fact, we encourage you to leave your slope in fraction form, because when you're counting and you're graphing, this tells you to go up 11 over 2, up 11 over 2, and so forth. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is we are going to find the slope between two coordinates. So this takes a little bit more effort. So we've got to first label our x and y values like this. So we've got our x1 and our y1 in group 1. That's the ordered pair of 9. 9 is equal to x and 17 is equal to y. And then our group 2 is 13 is equal to x, 25 is equal to y. Once we've done that, we're going to look at our slope formula. It's super important formula that you're going to be memorizing because you're going to be doing this so much. You're going to take your y components and you're going to subtract them. Then that goes in the numerator. Then you're going to take your x components and you're going to subtract those, and those go in the denominator. So when you do that, you're going to plug in y2 is 25 and y1 is 17. Divide that by x2 of 13 and x1 of 9. Then we're going to solve and simplify. So when we simplify this, we subtracted, we have 8 divided by 4, and then that simplifies us to 2. And this is a positive slope, m is equal to 2. So what I want you to do now is I want you to try this. So remember, when we're doing slope from an ordered pair, we have to remember our slope formula. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And then we're going to take our ordered pairs and we're going to label those as this is our x1, y1, and this is our x2, y2. So now we're just going to plug those into our equation. So this leaves us with 22 minus 7 divided by 3 minus a negative 2. And this is super important that we keep this in mind, is we are subtracting a negative 2, because that's going to make all the difference when we figure this out. So then, if we simplify this, 22 minus 7 is 15 divided by, and remember, this is actually going to be 3 plus 2. So that gives us a 5. So we have 15 over 5 is 3. And it's a positive 3. That's our slope. Okay, next, we found a slope from a graph. We found slope from a triangle. We found slope from ordered pair. The next thing is to find slope from a table. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to choose two sets of coordinates, right? And then we're going to circle those. We've got one of them is going to be our x1 and one of them is going to be our y1. Remember our slope formula. Then we're going to subtract. Keep in mind that we've got to remember that this is going to be our y2, and this one's our y1, and this is our x2, and this is our x1, as we're putting those into the equations. Then we're going to simplify and solve. So we have 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. And our slope is m is equal to 3. Now I want you to do the same thing. Follow the instructions. Pick 2 ordered pairs and figure out the slope from this table. Okay, so now we're going to figure out the slope from a table. So I'm going to pick 2 ordered pairs. Here's one and here's one. And remember, this is going to be my y1. Here's my y2. And this is going to be my x1. And here's my x2. And I'm going to put my slope formula up, which is slope is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And if we use our values from our table, we're going to have 9 minus 5 divided by 1 minus 0. So when we simplify that, we're going to have 9 minus 5 is 4, 1 minus 0 is 1, so our slope is 4. So hopefully that is, you got the same answers. So hopefully you got these same answers, and I believe you did. The only exception is that when we did it, we left this one, when we did the right triangle, we left it as a fraction, and they made it into a whole number here. Okay? So hopefully you remember how to do all these for next time, for when we continue to find the slope from a table, a graph, and an ordered pair.